you are good and your mercy endureth forever. People from every nation and tongue, from generation to generation, we worship you. Hallelujah, hallelujah, we worship you for who you are. We worship you. Hallelujah, hallelujah, we worship you for who you are. You are good. Have you been baptized yet? You probably haven't been baptized, have you? No? Okay, that's why God let it just scream out over top of you. Lord, you are good and your mercy endureth forever. Lord, you're so good. Lord, you are good and your mercy endureth forever. People from every nation and tongue, from generation to generation, we worship you. Hallelujah, hallelujah, we worship you for who you are.
Do the same thing and ask for forgiveness and be forgiven all the time. You actually have to put forth an effort. Have to put forth an effort to change, to want to change. A lot of people think that they can just always ask for forgiveness. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. You do have to put forth the effort of change. I myself was out on the streets, drinking, using drugs. I don't think there's any other place that leads to except for the streets. I think that's, I think the media sometimes glamorizes it and shows it in movies. You see people having fun, partying, seems like fun, rock and roll, yeah. You will end up on the streets, as I'm sure everybody here knows. It leads only to one place: death, jails, on the streets, or a combination thereof. I myself, like I said, have been locked up, and that's fine. I wish there was some way to get it through people in the media's eyes to not glamorize the lifestyle. I had to give up everything as far as my self-ego and my self-identity, as far as, using drugs and alcohol. I had to give it all over to God. And when I quit, it actually was, a load was lifted off of me. I didn't go through the withdrawals like I should have, like I had in the past. I've been hospitalized a couple of times for trying to quit cold turkey off drinking. It didn't happen this last time. I was baptized, born again, and it was easy. It was like, wow, I'm free and clear. I'm not going into grand mal seizures. I'm not ending up in the hospital. And that was actually about 5 months ago. And I thought, when I met Christian, I thought he was crazy. As all you guys know, he's pretty crazy, but what he says works. It does work. You gotta relent. Give it all over to God. Quit living for yourself so much. Believe in God. Forgive yourself. It just seems to work. So many people can't be wrong. I know that I tried to do it on my own. Where did it lead me? Out on the streets. Luckily, I wasn't on the streets too long here. You guys didn't know me for too long out here. I was only back in the States for a week before I ran into Christian, but I was praying. I was in Puerto Rico, and I was homeless over there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There, it's the same. Homelessness is the same anywhere. It's not fun. It's not desirable. You see all the crazy stuff that goes on. But I was praying, dear Lord, just give me a second chance. You should get me off this island. It seemed like it would be nice, and I lost a bunch of money and ended up on the streets. Homelessness is the same anywhere, I think. Just different levels of poverty. Puerto Rico is still a third world country. Here you have feedings. There we have feedings, but not so frequent if you weren't in the downtown area. Excuse me. But I was just praying to God, get me off this island. I'm gonna die here. I was drinking sometimes up to 6/5 of vodka or rum a day. Constantly, just blotto. I just kept praying. I knew that I could get off the streets if I wasn't in Puerto Rico. I prayed. Some friends of mine, beautiful people. In fact, when I first got to Puerto Rico 5 years ago, I just happened to run into these people that had their own shop. They were scooter rentals. And they were like, hey, we became friends. They actually gave me a Bible. Oddly enough. That was 5 years ago. Well, about 6 months ago, they were like, man, you know what? We're going to buy you a ticket off this island. You know, because I kept talking to them. It's like, I need to get out of here. The jobs have run out. There's no money. And I'm dying. They bought me a ticket. I asked for anywhere, cheapest ticket, quickest departure flight. Happened to be to Orlando. I got here, made my way downtown, didn't have any money, panhandled like 20 bucks, ended up getting a bottle, of course. I was still a heavy alcoholic. Was staying at the Mission, got kicked out of there a night or two because I was drunk. And I just happened to run into, I walked by, I remember I was walking down this way, I saw that there was food. And he was Christian on the back of his truck. Baptism. Praise Jesus. Yeah, so Christian was feeding, standing in the back of his truck. John was here. Christian was jumping up and down. I ended up just talking to him afterwards. He asked me what my story was, and I told him I was serious. I wanted to get off the streets. It's not fun. You can't be a productive human being if you're constantly drunk and high. It just doesn't work. It doesn't. I wish everybody figured that out. I know it took me 25, 30 years to figure it out. But I came to realize that God was the only way. It really was. It truly is the only way. Once you find yourself to a spot like where we are in a parking lot, it is the only way. God, it's the only thing I think that it would actually work. I've been through rehabs before. That didn't stop me. When I got out of rehab, I went to a 12-step meeting or so, and as soon as I did that, next thing I know, I had a needle back in my arm. But you have to be serious, with God. I haven't been to any 12 steps. Just, I read the Bible. I don't have any urges. I don't feel like shooting up. I don't feel like drinking. I don't, now I want to go out and help other people. It's because there's people that have helped me. I feel like I owe that. I owe that to you guys. I owe that to God. I owe that to humanity. I owe it to myself. I wish there was more that I could do in a day. There's not. If Christian was watching, hello. It's a beautiful thing, the Bible. I can relate a lot of things that are talked about, and you can actually pretty much take any page, and there's something on that page that'll you can apply towards yourself. And so I guess I don't call it the greatest story ever written for a reason, just because there's so many different things you can relate to. It's definitely a good thing. I've actually even studied all these other religions that you hear about. There's not much to compare as far as the compassion. A lot of things and a lot of people are all about self. The Bible is about self, but as well as letting go, giving up and giving it over to God. Something to that. I think I heard that somewhere. Letting go and letting God. I'm at a loss for words, excuse me. I wish I just see you guys, and I wish I could help more. I wish it's something that actually pains, because I've been there. I wish I had the answers. I wish I could solve the problems. I wish other people were more caring and compassionate. I wish we had jobs for everybody.